Discovery.
Hello and welcome to Cutting to the Bug and the Post-Truth Apocalypse. I'm Ben, I'm joined by Gaz.
Hello.
And Mike.
Hello.
And this week we're going to finish off our Christmas episode part 2, Christmas with Fred and Rose West. It's not a Christmas you'd want.
No.
And we've sat through 2 parts of it and talked about it, so yeah.
So if you managed to get through the first one, welcome back.
Welcome back. Some of you have. Let's do the top cities. Los Angeles, California, Guadalajara in Spain, Kelowna, Canada, San Jose, California, San Francisco, California, New York itself, New York City, Qatif, Saudi Arabia. I fear for your life, my friend, because you've listened to us.
I'm not fear for your sanity.
I hope you're doing that through a fucking anonymous server, because we're putting a jihad against us. North Shields, we're not racists, just, you know, we're not very politically correct. Adamstown, Australia, Minneapolis, Minnesota, Dublin, Ireland, Ashburn, Virginia, Scott City, Missouri, Porterville, Missouri, we're into the top 10. Telford, creeping back in our hometown. Peoria, Illinois. Am I right? Yes, fantastic. Clifton, New Jersey, brand new one, welcome to you. Orlando, Florida. Little Rock, Arkansas, you're back. And Shady Nasty, you set your back top.
Yeah.
Shady Nasty, New York, welcome back.
Thank you very much.
Thank you indeed. Let's do some weird news before we cut into the main thrust of today's topic. This is going to take about 20 minutes, half an hour, and you know, it's just some weird shit we found on the net this week, or maybe trigger somebody, who knows.
Let's get the boys' views on this week's weird news.
So, right, what we got first? This is what I saw this, the headline, and thought, yeah, this is amazing. So, psychic taxi driver denies stalking after teen says he knew too much.
Okay.
A psychic taxi driver has insisted he's no stalker after a teenage girl complained he knew too much about her. Tony Cole, 60, is well known around Teesside, that's in Newcastle, in the UK, for offering readings to his customers. But the Ormsby dad of 6 has found himself in hot water with the Middlesbrough Council's licensing authority after a complaint.
Can I just say that I don't think Teesside is in Newcastle.
It's in Middlesbrough.
That's Tyneside.
Oh yeah, it's in Middlesbrough. Oh, I'm just really pissed off any Geordies at
That North Shields listener, he's gone.
Is that up there as well?
North Shields.
Oh, my apologies to you, anonymous North Shields listener. College student was said to be so distressed after the borough car's driver dropped her off, she reported her concerns to a teacher. Mr. Cole said he told the girl, thought to be in her late teens, about how she got dressed that morning on the journey, but knew it was through his psychic abilities. Right now, the tale gets a little bit darker as we go down. I picked a customer up, and I must have been telling them stuff. I have scared the life out of them, and they've gone into the college crying. The teacher said I must have been stalking her. The teacher said, oh my God, he must have been in your bedroom. Mr. Cole said he knew what the teenager had done that morning through his psychic abilities, and he'll regularly tell 10 people stuff every day in the car. Now, while he openly admits he's been in prison 4 or 5 times, Mr. Cole insists he's no stalker, and most of his passengers enjoy it when he gives them readings.
He's just a rapist.
Do you think that... It doesn't say in the article, sadly, what he's been in prison for.
No.
But he's been there 4 or 5 times.
Fraud, probably.
Well, he's a psychic,
That's
so...
what I mean, yeah.
Mate, do you think he's... Oh, I'll give you a reading on the sly. Yeah, maybe. Either way...
Maybe it's like a
I think
really
he
good...
was stalking her. I think he was looking... I think what he does is he goes to the job a bit early, because it's all pre-booked. He's got the address. And he'll park up maybe somewhere, and he'll have a little look through his binoculars.
Yeah. Or maybe he's a very good Sherlock Holmes. He's like, I bet you had a cup of coffee this morning. You can sense it on her breath.
Yeah.
Did you finger yourself? Smell the fish in the air.
Oh, fucking hell, Mike. How old are you?
Well, my fingers.
Can you sniff your fingers?
Could it not also be? Do you not think the
I
way?
think if he did that, that would definitely be...
Well, because he knows it's already happened.
It's the way readings work, though. It's not exactly fucking a shot in the dark to say to a young girl, I think you put some clothes on.
No, he was telling you
I wasn't
exactly what
sure.
she was wearing, probably down to the
How do
colour
we
of her
know?
underwear.
We don't know that for a fact.
It hinted at it in the article.
We don't know that for a fact. He says, I told her that when she got out of bed, she put some clothes on, decided she didn't want them on, and she swapped her clothes. It's pretty much what every female does. Yes, this is a bit of a sweeping sexist comment, but I go through this with Leona every time we leave the fucking house.
Alright.
Yes, that's fine.
So what
Why
we're
have you
saying
changed
by
it?
this, is he psychic?
No, of course you know, that's how readings work, isn't it?
I told you I had that reading done, he got it completely wrong.
Well, because it's just throwing them out there, isn't it? And for the few where you get it right, it's bollocks.
Yeah,
Fucking-
well,
Well, apparently, he woke up on his 40th birthday hearing voices. He's been practicing spiritualism ever since, and he calls himself the Chubby Brown of spiritualism.
Isn't that
Wow.
schizophrenia he's described?
Yeah.
yeah,
Maybe that's why he's been in prison.
maybe. Maybe he's a rapist. Who knows? Well, there you go, psychic taxi driver. Who we got next?
Neil Shipley, sentenced for public masturbation.
Do you know the name? I don't know, but a lot of our listeners won't know the name. Neil Shipley used to play Premier League football back in the 90s.
Nottingham Forest.
Nottingham Forest player, and Aussie Mike is a Nottingham Forest fan.
Wow.
And I remember him from the Prem. Gaz, you're not so much into football, but you may have heard the name.
Okay.
Ex-Crystal Palace star Neil Shipley, 45, exposed his genitals from inside his van in Hillingdon, West London.
It's always the van drivers giving us a bad name.
Fred West had a van. He had an ice cream van. Oh, yeah. Oh dear.
He's in front of a mother and a 16-year-old daughter. The mother said she was disgusted by the sight.
Oh dear.
Of Neil Shipley's shrivelled penis.
Shipley must complete 20 days of rehabilitation as part of the order, a 12-month community order given at Uxbridge Magistrates Court. Prosecutor Sean Sethi told the court Shipley had driven his van up to the victims, winding down his window and stopping the vehicle.
I should hope he's going to stop if he's going to get his knob out.
Mr. Sethi said the pair had turned to thank Shipley for letting them cross the road, but then they noticed he was holding his penis in his hand and staring directly at them.
Fucking hell. I think he's planned this. I think he's just driving around with no trousers on.
Some people may see flashes as pests or a nuisance to society. My view of Neil Shipley is a predator. His aim was to intimidate us, to violate us, to shock us, and to scare us. Yeah, it's not on.
Was that an owl I just fucking heard then? I heard some
Did you?
bird call. Yeah. Yeah, Neil Shipley, pervert. Who'd have thunk it? But then again, he could be going through massive depression because he hasn't got the money he used to have in his footballing days.
Could be. He's got very fat.
He has got, but they all do. Look at Big Nev.
He
Neville
was fat anyway.
Well, he was fat. He's even fatter now.
Keeper, isn't he?
Yeah. The best fat keeper in the world.
Oh, he was the best in the world at the time.
He's a
wasn't
fucking Labour activist now, isn't he?
He is, yeah. He actually said on the election day that he'd give all his football
I saw
career
that
up
tweet.
just to have a Labour government in, have a Corbyn government in. Sadly,
How tragic.
looks like he's keeping them medals. Yeah.
Good on you, Neville.
Yeah, but yeah, I like how sometimes the mighty fall.
No, he
Guys.
wasn't that fucking mighty. He
He's-
played for Crystal fucking Palace.
In the Prem.
Oh.
It's not about money,
And he fucking... Oh yeah, he had so much money that he's now driving around a fucking van looking
He's
for
got a
odd
really
jobs.
posh
the
van.
fucking-
You know, it didn't say
It
he
says
was
he's
a
got
word.
debts. It said,
Right.
it said he had debts.
Well, I think he's
Gambling issues, I'm sure it said. Where was it? Gambling problems and debts.
Death of his father as well, so we can't really judge him. He might be going through a bad time, but
still.
still we shouldn't be doing that.
Oh no, I'm not saying he should. I think personally he was thinking mother-daughter combo. Hey, I'm Neil Shipley, look at this!
It's quite two rapey fucking articles you give us so far, Ben.
That's fitting with the theme of the show, isn't it?
Is the third one quite rapey as well?
No, it's one to trigger Gaz. It's fitting in with the Fred West style of the show. He was a bit rapey, wasn't he? Let's face it.
A self-driving truck delivered butter from California to Pennsylvania in 3 days.
Yeah.
A Silicon Valley startup has completed what appears to be the first commercial freight cross-country trip by an autonomous truck, which finished a 2,800-mile run from Tulare, California to Quakertown, Pennsylvania, for Land O'Lakes in under 3 days. The trip was smooth like butter, 40,000 pounds of it.
Oh, 40,000 pounds of butter.
Plus AI, a 3-year-old company in Cupertino
Cupertino.
announced the milestone Tuesday. A safety driver was aboard the autonomous semi, ready to take the wheel if needed, along with a safety engineer who observed how things were going. We wanted to demonstrate the safety, reliability and maturity of our overall system, said Sean Kerrigan, co-founder and chief operating officer of the company, in an interview Monday. The company's system uses camera, radar and LiDAR, which is laser-based technology, to help vehicles determine distance and handle the different terrains and weather conditions such as rain and low visibility well, he said. The truck, which travelled on Interstates 15 and 70 right before Thanksgiving, had to take scheduled breaks but drove mostly autonomously. There were 0, quote, disengagements or times the self-driving system had to be suspended because of a problem, Kerrigan said. Plus AI has been running freight every week for about a year, its COO said. Isn't it a CEO?
No, Chief Operating Officer,
Oh,
that's
fuck
that
me.
dude who was speaking earlier.
It's the first trip and he's done...
Cross-country trip.
To be able to address this peak demand with a fuel and cost-effective freight transport solution will be tremendously valuable to our businesses.
They're going to pay a driver soon, have they?
The butter maker's chief supply officer in a statement. This is a really fucking boring story.
I know, but it's just, that's it really. It's a few years' time, self-driving trucks are going to be delivering goods regularly across the nation's
I
highways.
can believe it.
I've had this rant about 20
I know.
times, so...
Yeah,
So,
well, just throwing it out there.
great. Good for plus AI.
Yeah, alright then. I was hoping for more.
Sorry.
Yeah. We've had it before, but it's had to throw it back in now and
I'm
again.
not going to do the same old... You know how I feel about this. I've made it pretty clear.
Yeah, actually, I find it just interesting we're up to the point where they're driving across the United States now. I mean, I agree with you to a point, because
It'll
you're
be
still
a
going to have to
long-
have someone to unload shit.
It'll be a long time before they're doing the M25
I suppose so.
and Spaghetti Junction.
Oof. We do have some awful roundabouts. Well,
We'll
okay.
see.
That's weird news.
You have to
Okay.
try harder to trigger me than
Yeah.
that, I'm afraid.
We'll get it somewhere.
You will? Oh yeah, I'm very easily triggered, but I've done that one.
Right,
I
so
can't manufacture rage for that one.
Oh,
It's
well.
America, they got like 200-mile long straight highways. It's built for that kind of thing. It'll work like a charm over there.
Yeah, but it's
We live on a fucking island where the roads were built like a fucking anthill.
yeah, they never kept them Roman roads.
Squirrely little, I think it'll take me a little longer over here. Anyway, what's next? Oh, that was it, isn't it?
Yep.
That is it. So we'll just take a quick break. Alright, so let's carry on with the West. We'll regress a little bit backwards just to give the build up to it. So, in September 1972, the Wests led their 8-year-old daughter, Anna Marie, to the cellar at 25 Cromwell Street. She was stripped, bound and gagged before Fred raped her with Rose's active encouragement. After the rape, Rose explained to the child, "Everybody does it. It's a father's job. Don't worry and don't say anything to anybody." From the age of 13, they forced Anne-Marie to prostitute herself to lodgers, telling them she was 16.
Fuck. Poor punters. Well, actually, no, because 16's still not right, is it, in this country? Or is it?
It's legal.
Oh.
It is legal, but you still gotta... You look at her and go, she ain't 16, wouldn't you? But then her mum stands there and goes,
You
she's
can't-
16.
Yeah. It's one of them. Yeah. I'm of the age now where, like, I see somebody walking down the street and they could honestly be 13 or 21.
I know what you're saying.
And I haven't got a fucking clue. Do you know what I mean? Like, they all dress the same, they look the same, it's like, I don't know, the young just... there's a certain...
Fuck me, guys, you're 36!
Nah, honestly, man, they... Like 20s and teens, they all just blur into one big mass that I can't, like, differentiate. It's just...
The horrible thought that I'm 37 in March, I was like, shit, 40's rapidly approaching.
Rihanna keeps having go. She says I talk like I'm 70. I do
The gammoning.
I haven't. This is why you lost the fucking election. With your fascistic labelling.
Yeah, it's fun.
I hate young people. I've labelled them. But yeah, anyway.
Yeah.
So they told him that she was 16
Yeah.
when she was 13.
Yeah, it was pimping it. Fred was probably watching, he had hidey holes and all the... in the rooms.
Like
certainly in Rose's room, which was the one they probably used. All the hidey holes set up so we could have a look. In
Creepy as fuck.
October of 1972, the Wests hired Carolyn Owen, who was 17, as their children's nanny. Literally, they met her hitchhiking, as most of these people are met up. They're thumbing for a lift, they're hitchhiking, they're walking. Oh yeah, we'll give you. And they go, oh, do you fancy working as our nanny? We'll pay you, and you can live in our house. And, oh, okay. Because it's usually sometimes if they're hitchhiking, they're running away.
Yeah.
Fred talked to her constantly about sex. She's a pretty 17-year-old girl, and of course Fred wants to bang her, but it's a bit. Can he just do it? Is he going to be thrown out by Rose? Maybe it's just better if both of them get in on it.
Thrown out by Rose. Raping our 8-year-old is fine. You fucking shagged that bird though, and
You
you're
never
out.
fucking know, though, do you?
Yeah, that's
It's
true.
that power dynamic, and which we'll talk about at the end, because there definitely is a weird one with these two. I don't think there's a dominant character in this. So Fred then decides to tell her that he is a skilled abortionist, literally a backstreet abortionist.
Fucking
I'm a
He's so
skilled abortionist.
and he offered his services should she need them, and there is some suggestion that he was actually a backstreet abortionist. Doesn't
How
really.
did that conversation come up?
He just decided to come out and tell her. He talked to her constantly about sex. And should she needs him, he'll offer his services for nothing because he's a kind, considerate landlord.
Should you get knocked up?
Yeah.
I'll be there with a coat hanger.
Don't go to the doctors.
But what he's really saying
What
is,
he also then.
no,
oh,
what
sorry,
he's
go on.
really saying is like, after I knock you up, what we'll do is,
Yeah. Well,
because
that's what he's saying. But he's saying that he's so good at this job, right, that the women would offer him their sexual services as a reward. He says that to her.
Hopefully not straight after. Please not straight
I
after.
don't know, but they certainly do offer him. He claims they offer a reward.
he claims a lot of fucking things.
Yeah. Now, fed up of his constant overt sexual advances, she left on the 6th of December 1972. But they knew she'd be hitchhiking home. She got a means of transport. They probably haven't paid her. They've just been giving her fucking food and board, haven't they?
They tracked her down.
And they tracked her down.
Oh, fuck. It's horrible.
And they're like, oh,
Fucking
come on.
nightmare.
Yeah, come back. I'll behave. Everything will be fine. She was lured in the car, knocked out, gagged and bound, and groped by Rose and molested. And then at the house, she was subjected to prolonged sexual abuse from both Fred and Rose, including the lashing of her genitals with a leather belt.
Fuck.
That was Rose as well. I think both of them participated, but Rose certainly got a kick out the more sadistic side of things.
Sick fucks.
Now, not surprisingly, they asked her if she wanted to return to her work, and she said, yeah, because if someone's just beating your genitals with a leather belt, you'll pretty much do whatever they fucking ask you to, let's face it. And Fred also tells her that he's killed hundreds of young girls. So, hey, how about, we've just done this to you, I've killed hundreds, fancy your job back? Don't say anything, eh?
Well,
Maybe they did genuinely like her, maybe she was good with the kids. There was something why this young woman was spared. Because she wasn't killed.
Maybe they just couldn't be arsed that day.
She actually escaped when she went to the laundrette with Rose to aid with the laundry. This was a time when 72 laundrettes were sort of thing in this country. You didn't have a washing machine at home. You went down the high street, went to the place all the washing machines are.
Still one in Dawley, isn't
Still one in Dawley.
I was going to say, yeah, it still is a thing for quite a lot of people.
Yep. She agreed to go with her, and then she saw a chance to escape, and she did. She did a runner at the laundrette, and just went. Because Fela dropped him off. Rose doesn't drive. Mm-hmm. She eventually confided to her mother what had happened, and the mother immediately called the police. In January 1973, they were arrested and charged. However, Caroline couldn't bring herself to testify, and the sexual abuse charges were dropped. The West pleaded guilty to indecent assault and an actual bodily harm charge. They paid £50 each as a fine and walked free. You see, the no smoke without fire part of the British justice system here is failing it miserably.
it? Certainly is.
Because, and remember, their kids have been in hospital 30 times in the space of so many years with broken bones, and no one's flagging this.
Track.
No one's keeping track at
No
all.
one gives a shit.
The murders themselves, the first one was a girl called Linda Goff, and she was murdered in Conroe Street after lodging there. Her body was dismembered. Though missing were cervical vertebrae, 5 cervical vertebrae, their fingers and toes. The remains were buried in the garage. 5 victims were killed and buried in a cellar between November 1973 and April 1975. Most of them hitchhikers, young girls lodging, anyone who was vulnerable and didn't have it, was on the run basically.
It's poor vulnerable people, isn't it?
Yeah. Over the following 17 months, 4 further victims between the ages of 15 and 21 suffered a similar fate, though the condition of the bodies suggests these victims were likely subjected to even greater abuses. One mother found out where her daughter had been staying, tracked her down, and Rose, she'd already been killed, Rose answered the door wearing her clothes, wearing the daughter's clothes, and then proceeded to tell her, yeah, she stayed here for a few months, but she left, and nowhere she went, left her stuff, just did one. No one followed it up. I mean, if the person who your daughter, a 16-year-old daughter, has been lodging at their house, and they turn up to the door wearing your daughter's clothes, surely something's got her. I mean, what's happened to her then? Well, she just did one, she just left her stuff and did one. I mean, where the fuck she...
What can you do though?
If you say that's the police, are they going to investigate a bit? I mean, she's wearing her fucking clothes.
But you got to remember, it's 1972. They can't check the CCTV. All they can really do is go knock doors, isn't it? Am I?
Without just cause, what can you do? Oh, she's wearing her clothes. Oh, she could have left.
They couldn't have gone.
We searched the house, she's
could
gone.
they? Wouldn't have even been able to check DNA. But they don't do all that without a body.
That's
it's just a missing
person. And if the landlady says, oh yeah, she left without paying me any rent, just did one, left her stuff, so I started wearing her clothes in lieu of the rent. I took her stuff.
That's it. End of the trail. You can either go down the bus station. Does anyone seen a girl like this?
Yeah.
Show the picture around.
Yeah.
That's it. It's basically old-fashioned. Does it get anywhere?
Yeah. Unless something really breaks it open.
Unless you get incredibly lucky, I guess.
Sadly, in this case, it didn't.
They might have been protected.
And they were mostly buried in the cellar, in the basement of the house. And this is a big house, remember. It's got 3 stories. It goes quite a bit back. They're lodging out the top 2 and 3 floors. They live in the bottom floor, the family. Now, in 1975, Fred concreted over the basement floor. Give it a new flesh layer. Maybe he was going to smell a bit down there. Because it was their sex dungeon, remember, effectively.
Oh, but it stank down there.
Oh, you better close the door, keep the stank in. Exactly. I mean, it must have fucking honked. He then turned it into a bedroom for his oldest children.
The body's underneath.
The body's underneath. Yeah, just been concreted over again.
Lovely.
Yeah. He and his wife are not known to have killed again until May 1978, and another in 1975, which was also a 16-year-old girl on the run called Alison Chambers. So again, picking up these young girls at the side of the road. Oh, what's your story, love? Oh, I'm running away from home. Oh, right, okay.
course, it was the 70s back then.
So is it a more innocent age in Britain? Let's face it. But, I mean, if what we're led to believe is true from our media, which is mostly bollocks, let's face it, if you read the Sun and the Daily Mail every day, you'd be honestly convinced there's a pedo on every street.
Or a Muslim.
Or a pedo Muslim.
Yeah.
Or a pedo Muslim
Grooming gang.
danger dog.
Yeah. That's coming to the country illegally.
Pedo Muslim AIDS infected pitbull danger dog.
Yeah. And those killer
Watch out
bees,
for
those Africanised bees that are shown every year and never do.
Very aggressive.
But if that was nowadays, this pair might have got picked up a little bit more. But it's the 70s, there wasn't a pedo on every street. This stuff wasn't talked about, it never made them. Unless the body was found, there was a manhunt launched.
Profile murderers, weren't there?
There was, but Dennis Nielsen in the 70s, he was a cannibal as well as a serial murderer.
Didn't you have Myra Hindley in that?
Myra Hindley and Ian, but again they were caught because they're sloppy. They aren't getting sloppy. They're not travelling out to bury the bodies. They're doing it at home.
Peter Sutcliffe.
He was a 70s Yorkshire Ripper, yeah. So after this, that in 1978, 1979, when they murdered their last stranger, allegedly killed their last stranger. I firmly don't believe they do. Heather and Mae West, the daughters, became the focus of their father's attention, and he would say to them, "I made you, I can do what I like with you." Do you want to do that in the accent, Gaz?
I made you, I can do what I like with you.
He would often refer to his intentions to impregnate one of his daughters.
'Cause I love flipper babies.
You've been watching Paradise PD, haven't you?
I haven't.
Haven't you?
What's a flipper baby?
Oh, it's basically there was one dolphin in the town, and because it's really inbred, people started to fuck the dolphin, and you end up with this like underground tribe of people with dolphin hands, got flippers for hands. They don't start out some kind of organised crime syndicate, but they can't hold a gun,
Oh,
they can't pull a trigger. That's the
I
problem.
just literally thought Fred's desire was because he like
Like
babies
dolphins.
with- No, webbed feet and
I
not
love a
inbred.
dolphin.
No, inbreds have webbed
They
feet.
do.
Flippers.
Yeah.
There's a place in Highley in Shropshire. They're great swimmers.
Brosley as well.
And they must have got 6 fingers and play the banjo.
And if you chuck them a pice of bread, they'll go after it. I'm telling you.
Ding 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 ding.
You sure got a pretty mouth.
Stephen West,
film's horrific.
the oldest son. It is, yeah, it is. It's fucking terrible.
I'm gonna make you squeal like a pig.
Oh yeah, it's just harrowing. Let's face it.
Fuck.
There's a Christmas movie for us.
Deliverance.
Deliverance. That would fit in with the theme. Interesting.
Can't we do, if we're going to do a Burt Reynolds, can't we do like Smokey and the Bandit?
Not Deliverance.
When we started with Deliverance.
Yeah, why not? Stephen West, the oldest son of the couple, was told that by age 17 he would have to have sex with his mother. Fortunately for him, he managed to get out when he was 16. He did one.
I blame him.
So, you know what I mean?
Now listen here, lad. You're 16 now, which means you're going to have to fuck your mother. What? Everybody does it, son. I don't think they do, Dad. They fucking do. No, honestly, my mate John, like, I honestly don't think he shouts his mother. He fucking does, right?
Yeah.
Or he's a fucking nonce. Oh,
That could be it, yeah. That's it.
fucking hell.
I mean, you don't know how these conversations go. I mean, the children have never really...
So
Got
then
into
imagine,
great
what's the
detail.
kid's name?
Steven.
Stevenson. Steven's like, so he goes and chats to somebody at school or college or something. He's like, here, Paul, Johnny, whatever. Here, you ever fucked your mum? Because your dad said if you didn't, he'd cave your head in with a shovel.
Because you're a nonce.
No, I haven't, mate. No, I don't think my parents are quite right.
Well, yeah. But also remember, one of the house rules is you don't talk about what goes on inside this
What
house.
happens in West Club
What
stays in West Club.
Exactly.
Right?
What happens at 53 Cornwall Street stays in 53 Cromwell Street.
Until someone comes round with a pneumatic drill.
The police turn up, yeah. Now,
Fuck.
Heather West was in school at the time, and after PE class, various welts and bruises were observed on her body. Was they're in shorts and t-shirts, or they're undressing, the teachers are...
Getting sloppy.
Yeah. She attempted to excuse the marks, but did later confide to a friend what was happening. Also telling her friend the rumours about Rosie's sex life were absolutely true, namely the fact that she was prostituting herself. It was trying to get around at school. Hey, you want a prosy? Go round and see Heather West's mum.
Yeah.
You know, it's trying to get out, so but she then confirms that that's true. And she left school in 86, and she tried desperately to move away from home, get a job. She's 16. I want to get out of here. I've got to get a job. She applied for jobs all over the place. The one she really wanted was as a holiday camp in Torquay. As far away from these fuckers as you can get.
40 Towers.
I did think that. But she got rejected, and she basically spent the evening crying in her room.
Fuck me.
And when her siblings returned home from school that day, they were told that Heather had got the job and left home. Rose also told neighbours that she'd run away, also that she was a lesbian, and Rose had given her 600 quid to get out the house and go because it was bringing shame on the family.
Fucking imagine these nutters as your neighbours, man.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
that's it. In the years following Heather's disappearance, Fred liked to joke that if the children misbehaved, they'd end up like Heather under the patio. That was the family joke.
How dark's that? The kids said in interviews with the police later on that there was a family joke. The family joke. You'll end up under the patio like Heather.
Go and clean your room.
Clean your room, eat your vegetables. You'll end up under the patio like old Heather.
Fucking.
We don't know. Oh.
It'll be fun.
Here.
Don't we have fun together?
You know when Dad says about is Heather really under the patio? I don't know. How can you find out? Like, who the fuck's Heather?
Well, Stephen helped to bury one of the bodies. He was made to help.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
It wasn't his sister, it was another body. Heather's disappearance, Fred and Rose constantly changing stories, i.e. lesbian, she ran away, she got the job, because immediately, she got the job. It's alright then, where was it? Oh, this hotel. They go there, never heard of her, we rejected her, what are you on about? Well, she was, what it was really is that she ran away. Oh, we've had no record of anyone seeing it.
She's a bloody dyke, alright?
She's a lesbian, alright? Yes, exactly. And for 1974 Britain, that would have been a perfect acceptable way to say that. I gave her 600 quid and told her to fuck off. But shame on the family. This is the 70s. That's how people thought. You know, we can't not mention it. It's, I mean, for fuck's sake, some of our parents got the same attitudes. You know, it's just political correctness was not a thing back then.
You can't come back here with a darkie.
No, Rose did all the fucking time. She loved
for
it.
money. And for Fred's pleasure.
And for Fred's pleasure.
As he looked through the peepholes.
This stuff's starting to build, so that because her disappearance and the changing stories, plus their allusions to foul play, as they've been into all a bit before, ultimately did lead to police inquiries. But in 92, this is where they get their comeuppance.
Yay.
1992. I wouldn't cheer too much.
Well, comeuppance.
Yeah, but it's not. This isn't how it's not great how it comes about.
Oh, right.
Fred calls his daughter Louise to his room, and later on her children find her bent over in agony on the floor, holding her stomach, and he sodomised her.
And beating her, hadn't he? She was literally rolling around in agony, and her brothers and sisters like, "What's up? What's happened?" She's just been brutally raped and beaten by her father.
Sodomised. She's 13. I mean, it's... She confided to a friend what happened. Fortunately, this culminated in a search warrant being issued to excavate the West Garden, combined with the illusions of their daughter going missing.
The family joke.
Family joke. The police searched the property. They took numerous items of sexual paraphernalia and 99 videos, some homemade, The children were taken into foster care and medical examinations revealed physical and sexual abuse. And
the thing is, though, Ben, sorry to interrupt, but of the 99 sex videos, the one that was missing, the key one, the one of them sodomising their own child. So you could say I got 99 pornos, but the one of me raping my own child ain't one. Hit me! Boom! Boom!
Fucking hell. Oh, you are right.
For all the Jay-Z fans out there.
You're not wrong.
I know. It's factual information and a rap reference. Comedy gold, Ben.
Sadly, Gaz, some of them were of them doing their own kids.
I thought that they never actually had that smoking
I read they
gun.
did.
Oh, okay. Well,
maybe
there is conflicted shit.
Yeah, there's a lot. 70s at the end of the day. And the 90s now, we're in early 90s, which is still the analog age.
Because wouldn't Rose have been charged with that as well?
True.
I'm sure it was, because they filmed a...
But she was charged with all that as well, though, wasn't she?
But based on evidence. I don't know, we could be... Yeah. You're the fact checker, listener. We know they did it. They were found guilty by a jury because of testimony from interviews with the fucking children themselves, like the survivors.
Bodies under the patio, probably not.
Well, no, but that won't give you any evidence of the... What I'm trying to say is
all that DNA over it.
No, but it's decomposed. Do you know what I mean? And what I'm trying to say to you is there was no smoking gun actual... There's footage of them doing all sorts of weird shit, but they never found a tape, even though they did record it. One of the children said it was recorded, but they didn't find tapes. We mentioned this last episode. They didn't find tapes of them actually doing it to their children, they had the wherewithal. Although they were pretty blazing and
well, they certainly were at home, let's face it.
They still had the wherewithal to know that having those tapes probably wasn't the most sensible thing to have just sitting amongst your porn collection.
Because, I mean, let's face it, if they find no body, right, and there's this tape, and it's them two brutally torturing...
Exactly, then you're
going to get a performance. Because there's no body. There's no body. Yes, that person's missing.
But don't you think that would leave the jury to believe that?
They're not going to film themselves killing them.
No, they didn't. But they filmed themselves.
Yeah, but for all they know, all that is technically it's circumstantial.
Amateur dramatics.
It could be amateur dramatics. Could be that's what got them off. Who knows? Maybe they found someone of a like mind. Unless they're underage, unless they're visibly underage, and I don't think any of them were. 16 was the youngest. Then he said, "Well, yeah, we paid them to do that. That's well, are they? I don't know. Just we met them through."
I suppose they call it consenting adults thing, but
I'm just saying.
No one's to say that she's not consenting because she's pushing it on for the film.
There's no video anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Well, yeah.
I'm just saying. Do you not think it's an interesting?
One of the children. I want to about the victims.
It's interesting that, as sloppy as they were and cocky and brazen as they were, and psychotic or whatever, still had the wherewithal to know that tape was worth destroying.
Yeah.
You know
but then again, we don't know that it wasn't. It was the torture porn. It could have just been Fred and Rose that they were filming themselves doing.
But they did.
Some of them were homemade.
They filmed basically all the time. Not all the times, but would film her with the punters basically.
Yeah.
When she was whoring, but also this all comes from basically one of the children saying in police interview that Fred and Rose filmed the beatings and sodomizing. She could have been mistaken. Maybe the camera was there but not on.
Yeah.
I don't know. Or I just think it's interesting that they had the wherewithal to know, like, of all the shit we've done, we can't be sloppy. They were.
When you think about it,
trying to cover their tracks.
If we had a full-on podcasting room, we wouldn't take anything down. We just leave it set up as it was. The basement was their torture room. They just leave it set up as it was, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Well, anyway,
last victim was spunk and crusted on the fucking...
Oh, God. Well, anyway...
Probably just added to it for him.
The popo turned up, and what happened next?
Well, after that trial collapsed, the police didn't find anything... They didn't...
Before they dug the ground.
I made a mistake. I read my notes in the wrong order. I apologise. I tricked myself while you were speaking. They hadn't excavated the garden. They'd searched the house, found the porn, found the videos, examined the kids. In '93... They were arrested. Anna Marie and her sister Louise wouldn't testify because it's mom and dad.
And beat us to death.
Yeah,
Exactly,
they'd kill us if they ever got us back.
We'll be under the patio with Heather.
You'll be on the patio with Heather.
They ain't saying
There's,
shit.
there's numerous reasons. I mean, you know, you don't talk about what goes on. You don't,
Brainwashed like that.
brainwash. And remember, also, yeah, they're told that this is what everybody does.
Yeah.
And, you know, they're teens and they've been brought up that way. You know?
Yeah. And they're probably truant from school most of the time.
Possibly, I wouldn't like to say. I mean, that never was cropped up that these kids had noticeable absences.
Probably just quiet at school then.
But he was quiet, just getting themselves.
Well, I wish it could be Christmas every day.
It's Christmas!
It's lovely, isn't it?
So the 23rd of February in 1994, we started off in the early 70s, or late 60s, early 70s, but in 1994, after trying to find Heather, the police finally got a search warrant to search Cromwell Street for her remains. The following morning, Fred confessed the killing of his daughter and showed the police where he buried her. Because he knew they were going to find her anyway. She's under the fucking patio, let's face it. They all told the police, family joke. There's under the patio, don't end up like her. But then he goes into this weird shit where he's seeing the ghost of Heather telling him thank you for, excavating
She was so happy. I've never seen her look so happy.
Yeah.
He's off his rocker. Or he's trying to play...
Or he's trying to play the insanity card, which is what I think. I think he's not the brightest spark.
No.
In fact, he's one of the few serial killers who are thick as shit. Most of them are fairly clever.
Yeah, but even he knows as a nonce going into an old prison, he ain't gonna last long.
That's what I'm saying. They still had some nounce, like even though he was thick as
street
fucking.
nice, isn't it?
Oh yeah, he had the brain wherewithal to fucking get rid of the tape. He's still thinking I could fucking get away with this. I'll blame it all on Rose, which
Do
he
the
tried.
insanity thing.
I'm skipping ahead slightly anyway. Go on.
I've had 2 head injuries. I've got away with this before because of that. If I start saying I'm seeing fucking ghosts, and he did this again, it wasn't just his daughter Heather, it was some of the other victims.
Or he was genuinely
A lunatic.
Yeah, like schizo as
Maybe
well.
he was
as
schizophrenic. Yeah.
a bit psychotic.
I mean,
and
would that have been? I don't know. Would they have done psychological tests on him in the 70s?
Well,
How
it was the
sophisticated
90s
would they
at
have
this
been?
point.
No, 90s, early 90s. They'd have probably been fairly sophisticated, I'd have thought, by then.
but they didn't have long to do it, did they?
But I just think he knew he was bullshitting.
It's not as if somebody had like months and years with him, like to really get into his
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
You know, they had a few hours with him, and I listened to. There's a video on YouTube, the Fred West tapes, and I couldn't take it. Got to a certain point, and I was like, oh fucking, why am I doing this to myself? I don't need to. Yeah, it's interesting. I am interested in the psychos and killers and stuff, and like, not in a morbid way, because you both know I'm quite squeamish, but in the like psychological.
What makes them tick?
What the fuck happens to someone's brain to go there?
Usually head injuries.
Yeah, it's a common thing. This guy though, I just couldn't. No, it's too much, man. Because it's weird, it's disconcerting. Because he sounds like such a bumbling like. If he come round to build your wall, like, and you heard that accent and saw him scruffy looking at you, you'd be like, yeah, he's a good builder. I don't know. There's something disconcerting about the. And for like international listeners, I suppose.
Well, it's suburban.
It's an accent.
From the outside, they look like a fairly normal.
Yeah, well, they've got
Hats.
numerous kids. I mean,
Yeah, there's
they
there's
keep themselves themselves. They were in the lodging house.
a bit weird.
Yeah,
Everyone's got their neighbours. A bit weird. Keep
It's
themselves
not going to
themselves.
think
we got a
sex
couple of the
dungeon.
road.
You say
It just
hi,
doesn't
that's about it.
scream.
You don't-
This accent, it doesn't really scream, does it? Sex dungeon, murdered, raped children, buried under the patio. It's called patricide when you kill your parents. What's it called the other way around?
Infanticide.
Oh, there you go. I did. Right,
Good
so,
spot.
infanticide. Fucking. Yeah, I don't know where I was going. Why was it? I don't know. I've lost
But
myself.
he'd tell weird jokes to the neighbours.
About dead kids.
About
and
Heather.
shit.
Like, oh yeah, I killed her. And because it, they must think he's this much of a bumbling idiot. His attempt at humour.
Spaffed her fucking head in, I did. Should have seen her head go.
Or problem child she was, yeah, killed her, put her under the patio, I did, it's a family joke. And if you were just talking to your neighbour, if your neighbour said that in a sort of joking-ish way, and you don't really know the guy, you're just assuming that's his weird sense of humour, would you go and report that?
I'd probably go in the house and go...
Well, you said a weird thing.
Do you know what he just said to me next door? That's weird. Yeah.
That's not
and then we
enough
just
to
carry
call
on
the police,
watching.
is it?
No, I was going to say, I'd say it to him, he'd be like, yeah, that's fucking weird, isn't it? And then just go back to watching whatever we were doing there.
That's it. Initially, Fred denied any involvement from Rose, then pinned it on her, then decided it wasn't her after all. However, in a section of the garden, Fred had told the police not to bother investigating. Don't worry about that bit over there. 'Cause remember, he's there, he's pointing out where Heather's buried.
Yeah.
Right? And he's pointing out where other people are buried. And he says, don't bother with that bit over there, though. You can guarantee there's some fucking bodies in there, Fred.
And they didn't look.
No, they did.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
They
what
did.
say.
Yeah.
I was going to say, hit back on the money.
Okay, Fred.
However, a human thigh bone was found. That led them on to discover a mass of jumbled remains, and Fred confessed initially these were 2 further sets of remains. He then confessed, under interrogation, which in this country is not good cop, bad cop. It's 2 70s cops with impressive moustaches, smoking heavily.
Well, no,
Just
90s.
asking you, not still even so.
Yeah,
still
I was
smoking
gonna say, they'll
heavily.
still be smoking.
Maybe the moustaches are gone.
For like 92 hours straight.
For 92 hours straight.
Yeah, just over and over
Coffee
the same. So,
and cigarettes.
yeah.
He confesses to an approximate 9 killings. Between the 5th and the 8th of March, 6 further bodies were found. Rose was arrested on the 20th of April 1994 for rape, but on the 25th of April again for 2 murders. So they have her in, they're right, they arrest you for rape. Got the cells, bring her back out 5 days later, right, you got an hand in 2 of these, we know you have, we're sure of it. We've got the evidence you have. You're arrested for 2 murders. On the 6th of May, Fred and Rose were charged with 5 counts of murder each. Rose denied each one. As we said last week, Rose denies everything.
Yeah. Oh yes, in a very high-pitched, fucking annoying voice, man.
And it's interesting that when they're both in court, she snubs him. She blanks him. And you can see him visibly shudder as he calls to her and she just turns her head and walks on.
And this breaks Fred.
It does, yeah.
Because they were in it together up to this point. Through thick and thin.
And at this point,
she
willing to let him...
Oh, she's going to throw him under the bus.
Yeah.
And he denied her involvement until this point. He tried to protect her.
And she completely blanks him in the courtroom, and this absolutely fucking devastates him. Because she's obviously on the same, she's thinking, I can get away with this.
Yeah,
I'm the woman. He's the man, he forced it all on me, he was going to beat me to death.
Yeah.
My dad used to pimp me out, my dad used to rape me, then pimp me out.
Yeah.
They both used to pimp me out.
I'm an abused woman, I fell into this lifestyle.
Which she was.
Yeah, she was, absolutely. Well, she would be if she wasn't up for it as well.
Yeah, she was both. But I'm saying is she maybe had enough in her head to tell herself and confidently believe if I just fuck him off and I'm going to throw him under the bus, he is going down for all of this and I'm going to be the victim. I was almost one of his victims. And I'm going to get away with this.
I might get a few years.
Yeah, but I ain't going to go down
I ain't gonna
like
die
he
in prison. I ain't going to die in prison.
He's never going to be let out. And you can see, and then, obviously, this does have a massive effect on Fred. Because if you think I hate to try and make you, I'm not asking you, listener, to sympathise with him at all. But I'm saying to try and put yourself in his frame of mind for this last few days or weeks in custody, the interviews. You're away from your home, you're probably never going to go back to it.
Your kids are in foster care.
Kids are gone. Complex how he feels about them, I don't know. But, so the one hope you've got, the one thing you've got is Rose.
Yeah.
We did all this together.
That's the last thing you've got in your life.
I'll protect you, my love, and you'll fucking thank me for this. forever. And
You get conjugal visits, I swear.
I can't wait to see her again. And then that court day comes, and he walks in that courtroom, and he's been looking. This is the only fucking light in his mind that he's had for God knows how long. Walks in the courtroom, and she won't even fucking look at him.
Yeah.
And you know in his head he's been imagining, oh, she's going to look across at me and I'll look across at her.
Yeah.
Rose,
maybe
Fred.
We'll break free of our bailiffs and hug each other in the middle. But like a running through a field moment.
Well, at least there'll be an acknowledgement of, yes, we're in this together. But no, she completely fucking blanks him. And like you say, even does a visible shudder, which is for show. Obviously for show, innit?
Yeah.
You know it is. Yeah. If chopping up and raping and all that, your own children, if that don't make you shudder, you know what I mean? Absolute theatrics. Devastated is Fred, which is crucial as what happens next. Because he actually starts to tell the fucking,
starts to sing like a bird.
We don't know if it's the truth, but it's his version of the truth, and it's implicating, he ain't protecting Rose no more, Mike, because she has just ripped his fucking, what passes for his heart from his chest, shat on it in front of the old courtroom and the world's media. Yeah, fuck you. So, what happens next then, Ben?
On the 30th of June in 1994, Fred was charged with 11 murders. Rose is still charged with 9, but Fred's got at least 11. I've heard figures it's as high as 60, but he only confessed to 11. It could be 40. I think this guy was killing for a fucking long time, and I don't think anybody knew. When he was up in Scotland, like I said last week, a plot of the land that he'd rented but not really done anything with, it's now under a major motorway. They ain't digging that up to find bodies. And he could have buried them anywhere. The reason they got away with it at Cromwell Street was because it was such a fucking massive house. It was huge. It's like it's a townhouse. And now these two fucking managed to get it. Well, Fred Rose's dad gave him some money. He did it all in himself. It's a 3-story townhouse. They're renting this shit out. They're getting money in from that. That's how you get a fucking sex and torture dungeon in your basement.
I was going to say, you'll
become a landlord.
You're quite impressed by their business acumen, aren't you?
I am. But yeah.
Don't give any Fred and Rose West get rich quick schemes.
He was a fantastic DIY man. You've got to give him that.
Was it?
I mean, all them peepholes in Rose's room.
Is it Cromwell Street?
His hands, was he?
Cromwell Street, Gloucester. Cause I'm on Google Street View. Oh,
it's gone now.
I know the house is gone, but the street is. It is just a fairly innocuous, it's not in a giantly built up area.
No, it's a suburb.
Yeah, it's a not very built up suburb either, really. You know, big townhouse.
Normal street.
Street.
That's it.
Lodging house.
People
coming and going all the time.
I reckon that gap there's where it was.
Yeah, it probably is,
We're up to number 70. Oh, God. See, it looks like a nice street, nice middle class street. Now, them houses are not going to be cheap at all. 3-story townhouses. That's what I'm saying.
Well, it's a shame they murdered all them kids. He'd be a millionaire by now.
Fucking idiot.
So ironically, even though he did all that house up and turned all that into a lodging house, he did own a cafe with his father-in-law, and it failed completely because of their lack of business acumen. You want a shelf putting up, you want a room converted into a bedroom fridge, man.
Oh yeah, you're a basic builder.
He is, yeah.
Nothing major, and
he'll cement your basement floor for you, turn it into a kid's bedroom, where all his murder victims are buried.
Yeah, he might rape and murder your kid as well.
He might do that too, yeah.
Might!
Well, it depends, he never did it on the job. Unless that's another thing, was he staying at digs? You don't know. Different towns.
Back then it was so much, it's a completely different world now. You've got to totally put yourself 70s, that's why there was way more of it, serial killing than that. Right, I was thinking about this the other day, constant CCTV, and not only that now, you know how people have dash cams and that for insurance purposes, you've got all that.
Both my parents have dash cams.
And improvements
police
in
use that.
Police,
and DNA, forensics.
Improvements in policing.
Yeah, all that. So it's way back. Before any of that.
And we're still not in the era of psychological profiling in the 70s, which might have piqued a bit more interest.
Social services.
I don't know how true it was, but I think it was pretty common for bent cops back then.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, we touched on this last week. This is purely rumour, but I can believe it, is that Rose was... This is such a small sort of part of the world, and I know this part of the world, sort of Gloucestershire, only very basically because I go there for work once a week. I drive through to a few different towns, Cheltenham, Gloucester. When you get out in the sticks, it's very isolated, and you imagine it even back then, the 70s.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, my granddad lived
Right.
there. He lived in Cirencester.
I know the place,
Yeah.
yeah. So, think back then, like, if word gets around that there is a constantly working hooker
Yeah.
in a house, a safe location basically,
Yeah.
not a street wall, you haven't got to go curb crawling on that shit, you can just go to a house.
Yeah.
Word spreads about that.
And you
Telling
can
me
fuck
there
their kids.
Right.
Well,
Very
that's-
dodgy shit, exactly,
Well,
that you
that's
couldn't do anywhere else.
They're not
Very...
saying that she's a kid, she's 16, she's legal.
Yeah, but, right, yeah.
Well, we don't know how long she's been pimping them out for.
Well, no, we don't, but...
said
don't know
13,
that they
the
were...
daughter was 13,
Yeah.
and they told everyone she was 16. No, I mean...
If
But my point is...
if that is
Yeah.
a
There's
place where
bound to be...
paedophiles go,
That's
Yeah,
also a
I
valid
think
point.
it's believable that people
and
of
paedophiles high
power...
in society.
Because
yeah.
we're thinking of them as this scumbag, which it was, this shitty end terrace townhouse, right? Which, to explain, maybe for listeners, sorry. So these houses are all compacted in right next to each other in a terrace, which means they're all no space in between.
There's about 50 houses
But,
in a row.
yeah, in a row, all literally physically built out of the same block. However, they're 3 stories tall with a basement, so I don't know if
Yeah.
that makes it 4
Technically,
stories,
Yeah.
right?
First floor the West lives on, and the second and third floor were rented to tenants.
Point is,
5 or
ground
6 rooms
floor.
in each.
big house,
Ground floor, yeah.
right? But with big house, but it was run down and shitty. They were run down, shitty people, and we think of it as this scummy little. That doesn't mean if you're a high-powered counsellor or something like. I mean, you know, this is horrible shit what I'm about to say, listener. But if you want to get into that whole like fucking underage girl thing, like, can you afford to be picky? Are there that many people offering that particular kink in a tiny place like Gloucester?
No.
No, you're probably after going to go to the Roses, aren't you? Even if you're the mayor or the
Yeah.
councillor or the police chief
Or the MP.
or even if just a few of the lads in the lower down, maybe we're thinking too big, maybe it wasn't cheap, maybe just a few of the PCs like to go around and bang Rose
Yeah.
of a Friday.
Oh,
Even-
she's
I don't know.
busy. She's
Yeah,
busy
if
now.
that happens, then it's off limits, isn't it? Then, you know, the police won't go there.
That's which is
Well,
what
that's
happened, why it
and-
was
and
quashed.
Remember, Rose is busy. Here's our daughter, she's 16.
Yeah.
And you look at her and you're a policeman. You must be good at judging that kind of shit.
And then word
And you go,
comes
"No,
out that
she
she isn't
but fuck it,
16
they
and
told
that
me that
passes
she
round.
was." Yeah.
Here, do you know what happened? John, have you heard the news? What? That girl at Rose is the daughter. Oh, that 16-year-old. Fuck, oh, she's brilliant. Yeah, she's 13. What?
Yeah.
What?
They'd probably give him a high five.
Jesus, fuck. They probably helped Rose and fucking Fred kill him. Kill the evidence. Fuck me. You know what? I'm just saying, this could go higher and deeper. Most things fucking do, and
Yeah. The
Or
fact
maybe
that
they
waited so
don't,
long,
I
let's
don't know.
face it.
so I think it's not beyond the realms of possibility to imagine someone high-powered was going there to do very...
Yeah, that's. I think you're probably right. Let's face it. But also, you know, things in the 70s weren't as connected. The kids showing up to A&E 30 times in so many years. Oh, it's accidents. Oh, don't worry. Things weren't as written down. Things weren't as centralised. Things weren't as connected.
Nowhere near.
You know, I mean, technology nowadays, this would have been picked up on. These people would have been stopped before it got to the killing, or maybe just after Fred's killings. Anyway,
Much more.
yeah, just the last thing really. On the 1st of January 1995, Fred's in jail. He hangs himself using a blanket. He is on suicide watch, but for some reason, no one seems to pick up on it. Maybe because they're Epstein.
I was going to say, why is there not a campaign that, like, you know, Fred West was suicide?
I heard
I'm
yesterday
joking.
that the footage is missing.
Really?
Yeah, Epstein.
Yeah. The
Joe
outside of
Rogan.
the cell.
What a surprise!
Because MI6, the CIA, various other international assassins all showed up, did rock, paper, scissors to see who kills him, and all went home happy, getting the money for their job. Pretty much.
Yeah.
Oh. Hung himself with his bed sheet.
And he showed his blanket and bed sheet, yeah. He was on suicide watch. Maybe he was Epsteined.
Well,
Maybe
they
there was some of those high-profile coppers going around.
Well, you can't underestimate as well the vitriol that people would have been feeling towards him, and maybe his guards and people around him thought, fuck him.
Yeah,
He
I think that's
shouldn't
probably
be
the
alive
case.
anyway.
Because the suicide note reveals, he did leave a suicide note, reveals a very different tale of Fred's, the head, the workings of Fred's head.
Well, I'll read it to you, and then we'll break it down.
Mm.
I'm going to film myself doing this. For future prosperity.
I have a joint to pass at you.
Oh yes, go
but
on,
it's falling apart. That's the issue.
It was alright when I had it.
What have you done, Ben?
Nothing. But it is falling apart. I blame these silver papers.
You might have to do some editing on this bit, mate.
Yeah, I'll pass you this first then.
Thank you very much. And I'm wearing my Christmas jumper, which makes it all the more... What the hell have you just passed me?
Exactly.
It's like
It
giving
wasn't
me
one I give you.
an
It fell
unwrapped,
apart as I was smoking it.
an unwrapped kebab.
No one wants an unwrapped kebab. It'll smoke, it's fine.
Okay.
Right.
Her suicide note was found in his cell with a drawing of a gravestone engraved with the words, "In loving memory, Fred West, Rose West. Rest in peace where no shadow falls. In perfect peace he waits for Rose, his wife." His suicide note read, "To Rose West, Steve and May. Well, Rose, it's your birthday on 29th of November 1994, and you will be 41 and still beautiful and still lovely, and I love you. We will always be in love. The most wonderful thing in my life was when I met you. Our love is special to us, love. Keep your promises to me. You know what they are. Where we are put together forever and ever is up to you. We loved Heather, both of us. I would love Charmaine to be with Heather and Rena. You will always be Mrs. West, all over the world. That is important to me and to you. I haven't got you a present, but all I have is my life. I will give it to you, my darling, when you are ready. Come to me. I will be waiting for you."
Well done. It's interesting, isn't it?
He's still trying to...
There's no remorse, is there?
He's
Oh,
still...
God, no.
Oh,
No,
fuck.
no,
Yeah, he
no.
doesn't
Not
mention
an
any...
ounce of remorse at all.
I probably shouldn't have done what I did.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
No.
love Heather.
Totally justified. Yeah, I loved Heather. But, you know.
And Charmaine. And Rena, my first wife. And Charmaine's mom. And I think Heather's mom as well, to be fair. But, you know, yeah, you know. I know that could be a reason why Rose killed her, because she was like, you know, when there's
jealousy.
Yeah.
you know, yeah.
Well,
You know, when there's two lion cubs left off the previous father, and the head guys come in and they just kill them. Like doing that kind of thing with her.
I've had to abandon that joint. It fell to bits, but I'll make another one to replace it.
Fantastic.
Well, so, should we conclude?
Yeah, well, Rose West is still in prison. She's
Oh,
still
yes,
alive.
shit,
She's a massive lesbian now.
Yeah, didn't we read some story where she, like...
She won the prison bake-off. And
She got someone to finger her in exchange for some cake or
That's
something.
right, yeah. She offers sexual services for cake.
So she's still getting her rocks off.
Rose
right?
West is ridiculously highly sexed, in all fairness.
She's living on one of the podcasts I listened to. I think it was those conspiracy guys. They explained it quite well. She's living a pretty much middle class existence right now.
Yeah, yeah.
The bitch gets fucking like psychiatric treatment, yoga, massages. She's getting like
It's alive,
hardcore
for
prison
instance,
bitches to come and lick her out.
Yeah.
She is literally, but fuck on. But she still takes no responsibility.
No, she denies everything.
Zero responsibility. Still trying to blame it on
A
Fred.
true psychopath.
And he's not allowed. Sorry, alive
no
to.
empathy, no compassion.
No.
All they care about is themselves.
Who do
Yeah.
you think's the worst at the two? I think she is.
Her Because it is...
I think Fred was just dumb and easily...
I think they're both
he had,
bad.
he had it in him, but he thought he was the dominant one. I think she was the dominant one.
I'm tempted to go with Mike and say they're equally fucked. The only thing I think would sway it potentially in her favour is the idea of a mother doing that. Because fathers, for some fucked up reason, the male psyche, when it's damaged, they do that to their own children. Way more than you hear of a mother doing that to her children. Is just like, and encouraging the father to do it, and then to other children that aren't hers, like no mothering instincts at all, like just none of that. But to be fair, her own father raped her.
Look at their childhood. Look at the both of their childhoods.
We said the same thing last week, which is ironic because that's what the song's about. The Offspring song, down the line, it just keeps going down a vicious cycle.
You know, Fred's mom is allegedly fucking him. His dad and his brother are raping the daughter/sister. Rose's dad is banging her and then popping round for paid visits with her.
Once she's
what
married.
chance have you fucking got?
It's just
You've
tragic.
got no chance at all with that kind of upbringing. And maybe Theresa May was right when she was Home Secretary years ago and said that paedophilia runs through British society like Blackpool through a stick of Blackpool rock. Maybe she was spot. Maybe this thing goes on behind closed doors all the fucking time. Maybe we're just really lucky for having normal childhoods. People ask, oh, what's your childhood? How was your childhood? It's perfectly normal.
I don't think Fred and Rosemary level stuff is as prevalent as, I think that is kind of a one-off.
Well, yeah, I don't know. Does it happen?
Oh, they definitely...
If it happens a lot.
Parents definitely abuse children, but what I'm saying is...
To this extent,
burying the fucking bodies under the patio and like...
Yeah, this is a once in a
I don't
50
think it's
years
very common
in
at all.
Britain, this kind of thing, isn't it?
I don't
Well,
know.
20 years, Shipman. Really, he wasn't burying body, he was bumping
It wasn't sexual, was it?
No.
Every now and again, innit?
Every now and it's not regular though. I mean, we're not like America where you've got
We're not as big.
potentially any 5, 6, 7, 8 serial killers on the loose at any one time, something daft like that. Might be higher, might be like 25.
Well, they've got no mental health care, have they? People can't afford it.
Don't worry, we won't have soon. Joy Christmas. Do you want to give your opinion on the West
That's
Line?
it, man. It's
We're
tragic.
good.
Yeah.
I've had enough of the
Continuing the
fucking
tradition of Dark Christmas.
Yeah, that's enough for this year.
Yeah.
Let's do some news.
Let's do some news. Okay.
Finish on a high.
Okay, so let's end the episode and our Christmas on weird news.
Let's get the boys' views on this week's weird news.
7'5" Taco Fall enters concussion protocol after collision with ceiling.
Oh, wow.
The Celtics, Boston Celtics,
Yeah.
say the rookie centre should return soon after hitting his head.
Wow.
He is a big fucker. Even amongst that team of giants, he's a big fucker. It's like Peter Crouch standing next to Jermaine Defoe.
Do you know what? I don't know what it
Except
is.
everyone's really tall anyway.
And his surname's called Fall.
Yeah, you don't fall
A-double-L.
when you're that tall.
Yeah.
But I don't know what it is now, but when, I used to be a bit basketball mad in the 90s at school, the average height of the NBA was 6'6".
Really?
Yeah, average.
Wow.
Over like a couple of hundred players.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Several hundred players, a couple of hundred players, I guess. Yeah.
7'5", I mean...
You duck into the
That's
doors.
rare. That's anyone who's 6'10" and above. I think Shaq's 7
He's classed
foot
as a
nothing.
freak.
Well, Shaq, you must know Shaq, Shaquille.
Yeah.
But the reason he was such a freakishly good player was because yes, he was 7 foot tall, but he wasn't a beanpole. He was built like a brick shit
He was the
house.
John Olomu of basketball.
And he could move, and he was athletic as fuck, so he was just fucking dominant.
Yeah.
It's interesting that he's actually still alive because people have had like John Olomu who died quite young with a heart condition.
Oh yeah, but people, do you know with like
he was a 20 stone who could run the 100 meters in less than 10 seconds.
you know the Big Show is, don't you?
Yeah, the wrestler, yeah.
The difference between the Big Show and Andre the Giant, they both had the same condition. Andre's was never treated or stopped. You know, you
His loss,
continue
yeah.
growing, your organs continue growing and everything. And when Big Show, forgive me, I'm guessing the age, but he was definitely as a teenager, had some sort of operation where they went in him and
took the gland out.
Gland, that's the word I'm looking for, not gene. The gland, yes, but apparently it was a dangerous thing to do, but it was worth the risk.
Yeah.
So he lived he still grew to like 6'10" and was massive, but lived a normal, and he's still healthy and happy right now, whereas Andre
Well, he was like,
just
I'm Andre
became
the
more
Giant.
and more.
If I have this done, I'll only be Andre.
Yeah, exactly. Oh.
Well, isn't it something that meant just when they're young, or was Andre's diagnosed later and he could have done it?
I'm not sure, but
And
the
you
bit
Could
that
have had the
shocked
operation.
Yeah.
Could have had it, yeah.
the bit that shocked me though was the fact of your organs continuing to grow
Yeah.
inside of you, because you think like, oh, gigantism, he never stops growing, that'd be awesome, is it? But like his skull kept going, didn't it, and his hands and like his fucking organs, and the poor fucker was in he lived a life of misery towards the latter years. But anyway,
do explain the 30 pints of beer a day.
And Vince just disowned him because he was no good to him anymore, just discarded him.
well, you know, is that really true?
Well, that was from a documentary. That's the impression I got.
I've got some wrestling weird
I think
news.
Vince cries when he talks about him. I think
Vince
genuinely-
cries on cue. It's like a porn star. He comes on cue.
It's one of a
Vince is a pro.
Might have been a one-sided documentary. but
one of
that's
the
impression I got.
misconceptions. I've got no way of knowing. I'm just going from what other people say, all the things we listen to. But people perceive him as this unfeeling, cutthroat monster. He's just a big ballsy businessman. But he's very emotional. Apparently, feels like a father to a lot of them.
Maybe then.
I saw him
Andre-
crying. Didn't he cry in that documentary?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, a little bit.
I think. But he just business carries on. Didn't it? I don't know if it was malicious,
Yeah.
like, oh, fuck you,
But
Andre.
he was
Just-
saying Andre couldn't do anything. I mean,
Well, then-
he just, he
He's
couldn't
his
rest
dad.
anymore. He just go in the ring and just throw a few people about, and that's it.
And then lean
He's
against
back.
the fucking corner.
Yeah.
He was, I didn't notice it as a kid, but I can't stand watching them.
Yeah.
Anything I ate. You know, even WrestleMania 3, the big, huge one.
Yeah, where Hogan.
Even
Hogan
that-
get the belt or get it back.
No, he retained the belt.
That's retained the belt. He slammed Andre, didn't he? Yeah, after his back had
But
been
even
punched to
that,
shit.
Andre
yeah.
had been convinced and begged and pleaded by Vince to come back because he'd been. But this guy, back to the news though.
Yeah.
If you look at him, he's built like a bit of a beanpole.
He
He's
is.
not your Shaquille O'Neal. He's 5 inches taller, but I bet Shaq could
Run rings around him.
probably
But-
just push him over with his
I
head.
don't know much about basketball, but I know of one famous game, which you'll bring, when the Russians took the Americans on in the final of the Olympics. It was, I can't remember what year it was. No
Dream
idea.
team.
But all I know is the Russians brought on this guy who was massively tall. He hadn't played at all in this game. They brought him on for the last 30 seconds. The Russians threw it in. He was on like the halfway line, and because he was so tall, he just went boop and threw it in. 3 points. Russians win. I don't even think there was 30 seconds left. There might have been like 4 or 5.
I don't know. But anyway,
The Russians beat the US at basketball in the Olympics, and therefore the
Anyway, a
US.
tall bloke,
Yeah.
his head.
Tall bloke hit his head.
Moving on.
He's now got a concussion. I've got some wrestling weird news if you're interested. Gaz with RVD.
I
RVD.
feel I may.
Rob Van Dam.
You're good. Sorry, hang on. This is very visual, but you mean Rob Van Dam.
That's it, yeah. He's in
If
he's
you're a
back at
wrestling fan,
TNA
you know
now.
what I just did, right?
He's now in a threesome marriage.
Yes, he is. Yes.
He's got 2 insane. How old's Rob? He's like 49, 47. Not in the best shape of his life, but still in shape. And he's now got 2 pretty much porn star girlfriends slash wives who are each other's girlfriends, and he's doing them both.
Recently divorced as well. People
He
think
is,
he's
yeah,
having
he's
a
recently
midlife
divorced.
crisis,
Fair
but he
play
keeps
to him.
tweeting pictures of himself in the jacuzzi with them, saying this is the best midlife crisis ever.
Humble bragging.
Yeah.
Not even humble bragging, is he? Just
No.
bragging.
Rob Van
He's
Dam.
got literally like I saw one photo of him earlier. He's in the jacuzzi. They're all topless, and like they're covering their nearest boob, which are like porn star enhanced boobs, and he's got his hands around the others, both sides, covering their nipples for Instagram.
It's a
and you're like,
blatant midlife crisis.
It
He's
is.
owning the
But
shit
Mike,
out of it.
But you know what? He seems to have some money, and he's got 2 really hot girlfriends who are each other's girlfriends, and everybody sees him
But he's
happy.
sleeping with witches, Ben.
No, that was the other guy.
I know.
Oh yeah, wait, He's sleeping witches.
That was Tom Brady.
That was Tom Brady. Yeah, but he's a multi-millionaire.
We can't compare.
He's got a really hot wife.
We can't compare a washed up, no offence Rob, but a nearly washed up professional wrestler.
He's clinging on.
The greatest American football player in the history.
I mean, he was in a tag team with Rhino, and he's going to be pushing 50.
Right, what's next?
Sorry. Complete wrestling spiel there. I've done that for a while, actually.
No.
I've got back into it a little bit recently. Oh wow, this is Mike, this is a spirit animal.
What is it?
This is Mike's spirit
A lazy
animal.
horse.
Lazy horse plays dead whenever people talk about
It's
it.
your spirit animal. If my spirit animal was that small and drank 20 cans and pushed over cows,
Excuse me.
this is yours.
Sorry for dying on Mike.
This is so your fucking spirit. This is you as a horse.
What's the horse doing, Mike? I'm dying.
Alright.
Yeah, let's continue.
And they still feed him and everything.
Aw.
If only this was an option at work. If I ever get a new job, this is a pretty solid gig. I should bribe my doctor to diagnose me with narcolepsy or something. Then whenever something pops up that you don't want to do, I can pass out and I guess everything will just be cool.
Yeah, I guess it would actually. Yeah.
That's how what is indisputably the world's smartest horse plays things. Does that make sense?
That is how what is undisputably the world's smartest horse plays things.
Yeah.
His name is Jingang and he doesn't like to be ridden. He, as a horse, is also apparently aware that humans would prefer to not sit on top of dead horses, so he plays dead. And he just doesn't fall over, he even closes his eyes and sticks out his tongue. His handlers call the whole thing cute but naughty. Do you want to see the video?
Good on him. Yeah,
I would,
go on
yes. Shall I pause it?
Yeah.
then. Good on him.
So the horse, literally, we just watched the video, and the horse, as soon as someone gets on him, he just gently falls over, puts his tongue out, rolls his eyes back. I think he's good in for a role in a film. I think he was going to Hollywood, this horse.
He's brilliant, man.
It's probably glue now though.
He's worked it out.
He's a better actor than me.
He's a genius. None of the other horses have worked it out.
No, they haven't.
I don't want to run around. I bet all the other horses are thinking, I wish I could find a way that I could stop. Every time he gets on my back, I can't help it. He kicks his heels and I just go. I hate it. And then that one, he's a step above. He's like, oh, you just don't go.
Yeah. Just roll over,
fall
gently.
over.
Don't fall over suddenly and crush their leg.
Just
Just don't gentle
exactly.
roll
Do
so
it
they can get out of
He's
what they're
smart
doing.
enough. Don't injure them. Just
don't injure them.
refuse gently, and you don't have to do it. Eventually, he'll go, for fuck's sake, fuck off, Shergar.
Yeah,
name.
like Mike says, he probably is glue now.
Yeah, of course he is.
Yeah.
Next.
Impressive though.
Mm.
I am genuinely impressed by the horse's
He's my
acting.
spirit animal.
It's
Genius.
just, if you were a horse, that would be you.
Martin, Mike, what do they say? Work smart, not hard.
There you go.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
it. Only fools and horses work.
La 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 la.
This horse don't. This horse is no fool.
Exactly.
I hope he's not like Trigger though.
He's much smarter than Trigger.
Oh yeah, he is actually. Yeah, he is.
Trigger would just start running. Oh,
his
Dave.
Alright.
Yeah,
What's the
Trigger
last
was a
one?
horse.
A Trigger was a horse.
Yeah. Didn't Rodney think he was because he had a gun? Didn't he?
Yeah, all the countries carry a gun. No, because he looked like a horse.
Also reminds me of that Forest player. He signed that Italian international, the first Italian international in the Prem, Andre Salenzi.
This is going back to when Nottingham Forest were in the Prem.
Yeah,
So we're
Like
talking.
94, 95,
Yeah,
something
when
like that.
Blackburn did them 7-1 and 5-1
Was that the
in
year
the
you
same
won?
season, yes it
Yes,
was.
first Premier League
Alright,
season.
finished third, going to Europe.
Was it the first two Premier League seasons or the first?
First, no, it wasn't. It was the
Did you win the
94,
first
95.
Who won the first one? Very first one.
Oh, my good
Leeds.
They did, didn't they? Yes, they did. The very first one. I remember it was a big deal because we actually had Sky TV,
Oh,
And I did.
and my mum was obsessed with it. And
Yeah.
I remember the very first Premiership. So I
your
remember
mum's really into sports, isn't she?
she
She's into
will watch
wrestling,
fucking
football.
any sport, just anything. Yeah, it's mental.
Anyway, we signed this player, Andre Salenzi.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
And he was described as the paintbrush. We thought, fuck me, he must be like an artist on the ball, the paintbrush.
He's a goofy twat.
He's tall with a big head. That's why I got the paintbrush.
Holy shit.
He was terrible, mate. Fucking awful.
Hence why Blackburn did them 5-1 and 7-1 respectively.
Oh well.
That's why we have Pineapple Head.
He's got a pineapple on his head. He's got a pineapple on his head. Bless him.
Rob Lee?
Jason Lee.
Jason Lee, that's it. Yeah,
Probably
Jason
really
Lee.
racist to sing that, isn't it? In
Oh, could
2019.
be, yeah.
Yeah.
But his hair did look like a pineapple.
Did he just shave
It
it?
just did. It just looked like one.
And he hated it as well because he said he got bullied for it. Oh, just cut your hair.
Well, he had like mini dreads, didn't he? He had dreads. Well, stop tying them on your head, tie them behind
Google
your
him now.
head.
Google him, listener. Google him and you'll realise that it's fine. What was his name again?
Jason
wasn't
Lee.
it? But not the actor. Jason Lee, Nottingham. He played for them, didn't he? Forest. Jason Lee, Nottingham Forest. He's got a pineapple. Right.
But he could have tied his hair another way.
If I was him, if I had to go out in front of thousands of fucking hooligans in the mid-90s,
Yeah.
who were just bound to abuse you, why would you antagonise them with a girly fucking haircut?
Yeah.
In
That's for
95?
trouble, innit?
Fuck yeah! It's like a massive... He's got a target on his head.
Thing is, he said he was bullied. He's like, cut your hair.
Of course you fucking was. What did you expect?
Anyway, last one.
Sorry,
Yep.
Jason Lee.
Oh.
This one might trigger him.
You might do, yeah.
Fuck's sake. University bans clapping for being an anxiety trigger.
He's repositioning himself. He's repositioning himself. He's getting ready.
People can't see, but I'm doing that clap where you don't make any noise.
Do you know that, this will sound very wanky, but when I used to do the odd bit of performance poetry, they don't clap at poetry readings.
Don't they?
They click.
Really?
Because
That's
so bohemian.
it's, yeah, but there's a reason behind it. I remember thinking this is so wanky, but there is a, because if you clap you can't fucking hear the, but there might be a line in the poem that you think is really good, so people start like, oh, that's really good. But it is a weird thing, and I've got video of me being clicked at, baby. Click, click, click,
yeah.
click, click, click.
I've been over, I can't click my fingers.
But that's different. That's a poetry thing. That's not because people have anxiety. There's a literal physical reason. Like you wouldn't be able to hear the fucking words over the right. But this is something else, man. Oh, wave your hands like you just don't care. This is the article now. Please don't clap because you will give students anxiety. Yes, the University of Oxford. Oxford.
Oxford. Ugh. Complete dump.
Has officially decided to replace.
No University Hall.
It's a Blackadder reference.
Well, this sentence is important.
Okay, sorry.
They have decided to replace clapping with a silent wave.
Okay.
Because yes, it could trigger anxiety for students, so instead they will just wave their hands side to side whenever they get excited.
Well, that's jazz hands.
Oh yes, Ben, imagine a hall full of a couple of thousand posh, wanky little fucking snowflake bastards jazz-handing away to a fucking rousing speech. This is the most inspirational thing I've ever heard!
So you mean I get to deliver my speech as Chancellor of prison?
Oh, fuck me.
Oh.
And it's been rousing.
We haven't even got a Chancellor.
We will have after I've taken
We've got
charge.
Chancellor.
Such a fascist sounding word, isn't it?
Alright,
The
Prime Minister.
Chancellor. Have you been watching V for Vendetta recently?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah,
actually,
you want to be the
And so I was
fucking...
looking at it thinking, wow,
The
this is the next 5 years.
Chancellor.
This is what the next 10 years will look like.
Fuck me.
That's what I was thinking
Oh,
of.
don't fucking start. Right. So, yeah, when you're a Chancellor,
When I'm Prime Minister,
Okay.
I'll be at some university, I'll give a rousing speech, and then everyone's going to give me jazz,
Jazz hands, yes. A silent
It's like-
hall full of jazz hands.
Just fucking clap.
And then you're there going,
It's like watching Japanese wrestling, it's terrible.
so thank you. No, thank you. Oh, you're too kind. No.
Shit, that's what it is. 'Cause
Enough. No, please. Oh, you're embarrassing me now.
You can
Please
film from behind
And
the
it's
crowd.
still silence.
Yeah, the silence, and then you just add the clapping and the extras. It's like he's giving a really popular speech. Yeah, no one's applauding.
Just picture it now. Quiet for a second. Just picture it. You know, at the end of a and that's why I believe freedom and respect for all.
It's like Ben doing jazz hands.
That's what I mean.
I was doing jazz hands then.
Just so nobody's like a fucking band. A band finishes like an intensely loud.
I'm all.
Yeah, they play their best song. Their best song, and they nail it live. It's Bohemian. It's Queen at Live Aid. Right? It's Queen at Live Aid. And at the end, after Freddie can't do the hey-ohs because...
Oh, don't you fucking
no,
dare
you
do that.
can't. You can't, because
it excludes the deaf people who can't sing along.
And then live
inclusive.
Aid, all them, how many ever hundreds of thousands of people in Wembley and around the globe, millions of people, and everyone just starts doing jazz hands in the air. It's not the same, is it?
No.
Nuremberg
would have been different, wouldn't it?
Certainly would have
Hitler
been.
Mike,
just
you're a
shouting
Nazi
into
propaganda
silence.
expert.
I watch a few Nazi propaganda films and I'm an expert.
Oh, you are, because you watch more than me and Gaz after.
Well, if you watch a couple of tranny pornos, are you a tranny enthusiast? Do you know what I mean?
I don't know, Ben.
Did you
Oh yeah, we saw that one, and you were there.
You forced me.
Force you. It was just on the tape. So
Look,
there's a VHS
that
porn.
is for a different podcast, lads. The one where we psychoanalyse the fuck out of you both.
What was your dad's porn?
We have. The scary thing is, you have told me this story. I would have buried this particular story.
Everything's open here.
I fucking hope not. I'm not one of your tranny concubines. Sorry, this is really for this shit course, so shit gets you kicked off the internet. I do not mean I mean
He does.
I mean beautiful, wonderful member of the trans community. That's what I meant. You're more superior to me in every way. I'm so sorry.
The film was called
Don't
Black
cancel me.
Transsexual.
It's the worst thing you could do now is be transphobic, apparently, and I'm not.
It probably
And
was
I wouldn't say
filmed in the
trans-
early 90s.
Edit.
Okay, let's not talk about that. Edit that bit out. Alright.
Go watch Ace Ventura.
That's trans.
I was doing an impression of the movie, not that doesn't
Edit this.
represent my actual feelings.
Edit.
Fuck.
Edit.
Right, Ben.
Okay, so
Get me out of this hole.
You're reading it, mate.
Fucked up facts. What we know?
I think we got the fucking gist.
Alright, okay. Fucked up facts. Let's end the show on that. Facts. Fucked up facts. Alright, Mike, hit us.
The oldest known British joke dates from the 10th century.
Wow.
Found in a book of Anglo-Saxon poetry, it reads, "What hangs at a man's thigh and wants to poke the hole that it's often poked before?"
His dick.
No.
A
So
dagger.
what- No.
I don't know.
A key.
Oh.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah, pretty clever that. Yeah.
You know,
Not bad for 10th century England.
I'm having that.
They're keeping it higher. Claiming that as your
I'm
own.
going to use that.
Do you want to hear a Russian joke? Radio Yevrin.
One time I go outside and did not die.
The sun was shining.
We were all happy. We kiss and sing song. I did not kill the gay man.
Or invade Georgia. And the Ukraine.
We did not shoot down the plane.
Yeah, that was the Polish government. We didn't shoot down the plane carrying the Polish government.
Honest, all of them.
All of them.
Sorry, Mike. Here, tell us your joke.
Is there a difference between capitalism and communism?
I don't know, Mike. Is there?
In principle, yes. In capitalism, man exploits man. In communism, it's the reverse.
Oh, wow. Profound.
Is it though?
It's just saying man exploits man. In communism, it's the reverse.
It's the same.
Man, exactly, yeah. That's the joke.
I know, Mike. I'm just saying. Is it profound?
No.
But it is true, though, is it?
Well,
Is
we're
the
into
truth? Is the truth not profound by definition?
I'm surprised you found some Fred West jokes in this episode.
You know what? They were all a little bit too depressing. I've got to be honest.
He could murder a tenant,
I'll
though.
tell one though. That one that I sent you in the messenger. It's the only one I can remember. But he was posthumously found innocent. Turns out he just bought his topsoil from Lockerbie.
No. Go on then, Mike.
I thought it was the best. In 2018, Japan's Deputy Chief of Cybersecurity admitted he had never used a computer.
Fucking hell!
What a guy.
Yeah, it's impressive, isn't it?
He doesn't need to, you got people doing it for him.
Yeah, that's why you're the boss. Then you see, he's never.
No
using
one
the
knows
computer.
my fucking password.
He's only
bitches.
deputy.
Oh, he's deputy.
Oh, well,
But still, surely he'd have come through the ranks, wouldn't he? I'll never use a computer. You know what? I bet he lied in his fucking interview.
The Latin for hot dog is pastillum botello fartum.
Makes sense.
wow.
I wasn't
Did they
meaning
have
to
hot
what
dogs
it
back
was.
then?
Probably. I don't know. They were the Romans, they're pretty smart.
Hot dogs?
But they would have had sausages.
On a fucking bun? With mustard and onions
Yeah, why
and
not?
ketchup at a fucking baseball. You
No.
want me to believe that
No, with the
most
gladiatorial games, obviously.
Romans were eating hot dogs at gladiatorial games?
Hey, why not?
Why not? Because bollocks, that's why.
Why not?
They're eating popcorn as well.
Maybe.
For you, the historian.
No, I didn't think you should throw out bread and that and food, but...
It's a bit of a stretch from bread to like a processed white perfect bun with
Oh, no, it's not going to be a perfect hot dog. It's
not
a sausage
hot dog,
with a
is
bit of bread in it.
That's just meat in
They
bread.
could...
A hot dog is something specific.
I don't know.
A sausage in a bun
But then
isn't
again,
a hot dog.
The sandwich was allegedly invented by the Earl of Sandwich. Well, he coined the term anyway. You know, when he was playing
I
cards.
think the clue.
Well, he
I
was.
think.
The name for the meat between two bread was named after him.
Right. What did they call it before?
Well, it
A
was
bread meat.
He coined the term the sandwich.
It was a bread meat before.
He was playing cards.
I want
he
a
was-
meat in a bread.
Well, they used to
Any
have,
kind of meat in any kind of
They
bread.
used to have what they called trenches, which you get the loaf, you
Right.
dig out you cut of bread, you dig out the middle, fill it with soup, stew, whatever, and then you bite into it that way.
Sounds nice, huh?
It does actually, doesn't it? Freshly cooked, crusty bread. Scoop out the middle, eat that bit. Fill the rest. Fill that little trench with stew. Dig into that.
Love a good stew.
Oh yeah, who doesn't?
Yeah, alright, enough of our culinary preferences. Let's finish the facts.
Okay, Voyager 2 is sending us data from over 11 billion miles away using a transmitter that is about as powerful as a fridge light.
Wow.
Fuck me.
Yeah. Wow, that's
Impressive.
genuinely impressive. I have no other words.
In 2014, a group of South Korean students protested against the amount of air found in crisp packets by making a raft out of them and sailing it down the river.
Why
Good
not?
on them, man. They do
Yeah.
fucking fool you.
More because they're in shit recently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bees don't poo in their hive. In the winter, when they're stuck inside due to the cold, they will all leave the hive at the same time to poo on so-called cleansing flights.
Wow.
Been on a few of them myself.
The average Briton lies about how they really feel 11 times per week.
Usually
I think it's more than that. Alright, love. Yeah. Apart from the deep inner crushing sense of longing for not knowing that I'm mortal and decaying at a cellular level with every passing second of my meaningless life on this floating rock of shit. Yes, love, I'm fine.
That says it all, really. Yeah. For that one, yeah, definitely.
It's true.
Mount Athos, Greece, is an entirely self-governed peninsula inhabited only by Orthodox monks. Female humans, chickens, cows and goats are banned from entry, but female cats, insects and songbirds are explicitly permitted.
Sounds like your heaven, doesn't it?
Well, you can't exactly kill every female.
Paradise.
I like female women!
Yeah, Paradise Monk Island with your female cat and your peace and communism and all that.
Yeah, it's not peace to still see women.
Oh, no, that's not allowed in your heavenly
Have you have a
communist
female
vision.
cat? Poor cats. What's that mean to them?
Because in your heavenly communist economic vision, Mike, all men will cease to have any kind of testosterone or testicular fortitude.
Why?
Because there'll just be no motivation to do anything because everyone's got the same and you don't have to make any effort for anything. So babies will stop being born and you won't need females. So you might as well go to your monk island.
I might as
Is
well.
what I'm saying.
In that case, I might as well.
I'm not wrong.
Polish scientists have released a colony of 1 million cannibal ants that were previously trapped inside a Soviet nuclear bunker.
Well, that's not a good idea.
The ants have not been seen since.
Oh! Are you shitting me?
That's gonna be bollocks.
Nuclear
Hang on,
ant.
does
My
he
source is pretty reliable.
Who is it? Well, you are the science officer, so I have no choice but to believe you.
Fucked up facts with a
My source, I'm just going to say
Z.com.
my source isn't quite reliable.
Fucked
Okay.
up facts with a Z.com.
If I say I'm going to give
Gaz.
it away.
Gaz, he is the science officer.
Fuck. Okay.
We have to believe what he says in terms of scientific matters.
Well, I'm the court jester.
Would Kirk tell Jones that it was...
No, he'd
whatever
punch
was
him in the face and take a whiskey and shag his woman.
Whereas
Because
Picard-
Kirk was a manly captain, unlike that fucking slaphead Picard.
Oh, it comes down to it.
I'm joking.
There is only one hope with this.
We're not starting
They are cannibal ants. They may have eaten each other.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's true.
What? Created one big survival of the fittest nuclear ant who's fed on the corpses
No,
of 100 other nuclear ants.
No, because the corpses were
A million?
consumed.
A million?
They'd have been consumed. The last ant alive would starve to death. He's a cannibal. He doesn't know
No,
anything.
then he moves on to other species.
No, he
he's
doesn't.
a fucking size of a dolphin and he's nuclear powered. For fuck's sake, Ben.
Oh man, what if that cannibal radioactive ant broke in here right now? What have we got to
We're
defend ourselves?
fucked. We're fucked. We're dead.
We are.
We're dead in
We
horrific
can punch it in the eye all we want.
A fucking giant ant burrowing through your fucking intestines and your guts and you're slowly screaming and dying, conscious of what's happening. We're
What about
fucking
if it's
dead.
one of them ants that just lays an egg in your head?
Oh.
You know,
But the last one alive of us gets to see the others die.
Will we hold hands?
No.
Ben would still be, we're both there, dismembered, being slowly eaten by an ant, and I reach out to him for one last moment of human connection. He's like, fuck off, gay.
I wouldn't say that. He'd be like, yeah.
Maybe not.
Yeah.
Ben. Ben. Hold me.
say I would have spooned you until you passed out.
Exactly.
You passed away.
While the ant feasted on our innards.
I'm not spooning anybody, man.
Just gently spoon me
I'm
while I
not spooning
die.
one of you two in the last few hours.
We'll all spoon each other.
I'm
It'll
not
be a
gonna spoon
three-way
you-
spoon.
I'm not going to spoon you if you get it eaten by an ant.
We'll all be
obviously.
getting eaten.
Alright then, yeah.
We're literally half dead, being eaten. The only things living are our upper bodies, so we might as well have a three-way spoon. A three-way dismembered spoon, just to so our last few moments.
You put the Fred Western accent on.
Here, Ben. Here, just give me a bit of a cuddle. Give us a smush. Sorry, mate, you got another fact?
After the death of Pope Nicholas IV in 1292, the Council of Cardinals spent nearly 2 years failing to choose the next pope. Finally, a hermit wrote an angry letter that God demanded they do their jobs and pick a pope. The cardinals selected the hermit as the next pope.
A hermit pope, well.
Wow.
Well, do you know what Fred West's favourite song is?
I knew you found some.
I'm ace with speeds. I'm ace with speeds. Sorry.
Last one.
Okay.
English people are comparatively not very...
The greatest fucking nation ever fucking created.
Right,
God save the fucking Queen.
Right,
Calm down, Gammon.
Oh, Darren.
Fucking go on, Boris. Brexit.
The gammering.
Fucking Brexit. We want the will of the people. We want our fucking sovereignty back.
No one took it away.
We want to make our own fucking rules.
You
Innit?
killed anyway.
Fucking will of the people.
People are fucking idiots.
Will of the
They
people.
were lied to. It's all lies.
He's a fucking commie.
No, he isn't. What's
He fucking
communism?
supports the
No, he
IRA.
doesn't.
Fucking
It's
love
too late
man.
now anyway. It's
Anyway.
all fucked. It's all fucked.
Sorry,
People
mate.
voted the Nazis.
Exactly,
Not
Jeremy.
just people.
People like Coldplay and voted for the Nazis.
I am willing to bend at the knee and accept my corporate conservative overlords. Help me climb the ladder, O Bojo. Help me amass wealth and material possession. For this is all that matters when in the church of capitalism.
That's it.
Of which I am a willing, serving devotee. Send me some
And
fucking
see.
money, listener. There you go. That's my impassioned speech. Vote for me.
Vote for me, we'll have more
I'll do
fun.
fuck all.
Vote for me, we'll have more fun. We'll invade Paris.
On horseback.
Yes.
I got bad news for you, Ben. There's white people in Paris. It's not like Zulu.
It's on fire, we'll just take over.
Is it still on fire? They're just not reporting it, are they?
No, that's it.
Just like they didn't report
It's
the
on
London
fire with that
protest.
third army that comes in and just crushes everybody else.
It's okay, guys.
Like Mao did to the communist and fascist Chinese.
You could just keep saying "not my PM" over and over again. It'd be fine.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
It'll work out for you. Sorry, Mike. We're determined to keep talking over this fact, aren't we?
We are, yeah,
Come on,
sorry.
Mike. Give it to us. The English are...
Comparatively, not very full of shit.
Really?
English bowel movements are some of the smallest in the world.
Wow.
Because of our fucking horrifically bad
Yeah,
diets.
probably.
Yeah.
My shit is different when I'm in Italy. There's one thing I noticed. That's a fact. It's factual information for you. My shit is completely different. Different consistency, different colour, different smell. Completely different.
I would agree with that. When I was in Poland, I had eaten Polish food all week.
Mm-hmm.
And the one night you went to visit a friend's house and there was a takeaway pizza, their version of Domino's, and I shit my guts out that night. Because I was going back to Western food, I was going back to that
The grease.
fatty, greasy, congealed mess, as opposed to home cooked food.
I shit the bed in Menorca.
The Mike Martin stuff.
Had a dodgy lolly. Had a lollipop. And they say don't drink the water around there.
Oh my god, I nearly died. I was not expecting that.
I shut the bed.
I shit the bed in Menorca.
But to be
It's
fair-
like a 90s dance track. I shit the bed in Menorca.
Although to be fair, I was only 7 at the time.
That's it's less exciting.
Yeah, I know.
It's not like you went out and took ecstasy and got anally raped by a fucking tranny called Steve who sold you some blow.
No.
You were 7.
Up when I was 17.
You read your Thomas the Tank book and it scared you so much. You shut the bed. I don't
But
know.
what concerns me about this the most, I think, is that for some reason Mike's held on to that memory when he was 7 and then felt the need to share it with us
Just
at a
randomly.
specific point in time.
I shut the bed in Menorca. Do you feel better now?
Yeah, I do.
We were saying this podcast therapy.
Man, you're gonna have to pause it for me.
piss
I laugh
myself
till I
in
need a
boots.
piss. I don't want to shit myself on microphone like my. You're gonna have to pause it. I'm gonna piss myself.
Oh. So that's the end of the show. On that bombshell. That's
Well, I'd
the
love
end
to
of the
say it's
show.
been fun, and we've had a few laughs along
We've
the
had a
way.
few
but,
laughs. Yeah.
It was well done. You managed to out dark last Christmas.
Wasn't
I
my
think.
pick, it was yours.
Well, the task was to pick something darker than last year, wasn't it?
I said John Benet Ramsey.
And remember last year we had Jingle Jangle. How did it go? Jingle Jangle bells. Jimmy smells a fresh corpse in the mortuary. I said to the nurse as I jumped in the earth, do you mind if I touch it? It's funny. Well, I wrote that for last year's episode. I thought, I'm not wasting
Please.
that. Some of my best material, Ben.
Please go check out our Christmas episodes.
Please don't.
We don't label them specifically as to what they are, so you have to read the description. We just say Xmas episode, but we don't advertise what they are because it's dark.
Merry fucking Christmas, you
Merry
cunts.
dark Christmas.
We love every one of you cunts. Cunts is a friendly cunting term.
It's like the
We're
Australians
British.
will understand that.
Yeah, we love you, you cunts. Thank you for all your support. We will continue on, even if you don't want us to.
I don't really care.
We don't do it for you, but we fucking love that you're listening along. It does make it more fun. Thanks. It's been fun.
Mike?
Yep.
Free Biff Tannen. Sorry.
Yeah.
I've been Mike, thanks for listening. Peace out. May the force be with you. Merry Christmas.
I'm going to say that I am, over the 2 years we were doing this, I am amazed that we have so many listeners around the globe. We are literally 3 people in a flat in Telford, UK, doing this. The fact that you people like us and find us funny while we get progressively more wasted amazes me.
We don't know if they find us funny. They might be listening out of sort of morbid, sort of like, I can't believe how fucked up these people really are.
Yeah, well, either way, they're probably laughing at it. I hope they are.
Well, we're real, man. We're just who we are. We don't pretend to be anything else.
We
Are
don't-
we real though?
Well,
unless we're in a simulation.
Can you prove you don't know? Let's
There
not
is
get
a-
into
There will
that
be a
right
future
now.
episode. There will be a future episode.
Well,
Yeah.
of course. We are literally unscripted. We have notes,
A few articles up.
a few articles up. That is it for us. Everything else comes off the bat. So yeah, thank you very much. I can't say thank you enough. Thanks for listening. I've been Ben. Don't drink the Flavour Aid and don't join a cult.
Good night.
It was Brexit Eve, babe, in the drunk tank. An old man said to me, won't see another one. I said, thank God for that. It's bad for me and you. And turned my face away and dreamt of you. Got an unlucky one. Bloody Tory scum. I've got a feeling this is not for me and you. So happy Christmas. I love this country. I can see a better time when all our dreams come true.
They've got carpets and bars, they've got rivers of gold. But with all distant cards, it's no place for the home. When you first cast your boat and you wanted to leave, you promised me riches were waiting for me. It was handsome.
Oh pretty, you divided our city. When the lights finished playing, they howled out for more. Forest was swinging, all the levers were singing. We cried in the corners, they danced through the night. The boys of the GCSE choir were singing, live today. And the bells will toll for us from Brexit Day. The policies are just junk, patients are almost dead and without a bed.
You scanned back your method, we just about had it. Happy Christmas you was, I pray God is your love.
The boys of the GCSE choir will be singing, live today. And the bells will toll for us from Brexit Day. I could have been someone.
Well, so could anyone. You took my dreams from me when they first spotted you.
I kept you from them, babe. Suppressed them for my own. Have to make it on your own. I built my dreams without you. The boys of the CCHQ choir will be singing, live today. And the bells will toll for us on Brexit Day.